So what is a drawing prompt? And should you be doing one? Let's find out when we take a walk to the Geek Shop. Hey, and welcome to another episode of Geek Shop. Today, Chetan and I say hi to Chetan.
Hello.
So today we are talking about October prompts, which is a common thing. I'm not sure, I don't know too much about the history of these October prompts, but maybe we can talk about that a little bit. But more particularly, we are going to look at the Tic Toc Tober, which is the exclusive Tic Toc Tom prompts that a group of us came up with. So why don't we, Chetan, Chetan, why don't you tell us what is a drawing prompt?
A drawing prompt, there's a lot of different versions of it and stuff. So it's doing a drawing in October every day, a single drawing. It could be black and white, color, anything. But I think the original started as black and white, but I think people have changed it to color or anything really. So you get each day you get a subject or character or idea and you draw it.
Yeah, I think it was Inktober. I think might have been the first one, right?
That's what I'm thinking, yes.
Yeah, that's at least the first time I ever heard of this sort of thing was Inktober.
Yes, and I think all their drawings were just black and white.
Yeah, that's why, I think you're right. I think the idea was obviously, there's obviously the comic book connection to inking your artwork and, Inktober, which, although inking nowadays in reality is sort of a thing of the past because you don't actually have to ink your artwork anymore. But I think that was the spirit of it.
Yes.
Do you yourself tend to actually do drawing prompts?
I never did that. I know Paul Maru used to do them and post them all the time, and I was impressed by what he did. Only time I did them was last year with Cartoonist Kayfabe when they started their prompts, and I did it the whole month, and surprisingly, it was a lot of fun. And I'm surprised I didn't do this years ago.
Yeah, I've never done it. I've never tried to do it. Maybe I'll try to do it this year. I don't know. I love watching them though. And to be honest, I think probably every once in a while, because I do sort of almost every day, maybe not every day, but every few days even, I'll do a random drawing just to do something. So maybe this year I'll take some from prompts and I have done it from the past where I've seen sort of, they'll suddenly my Instagram will be filled with a bunch of, random pictures of like Firestorm for some reason. And I'll be like, hey, I remember that character. Yeah, I should draw that guy, And so I might just do a doodle.
That was the good thing with the Cartoonist Kayfabe one. And by the way, they're posted on my Instagram page. Good thing was the subjects they had in there and the some of the things I had no clue what they were. So I had to do research, which made it interesting because I'm like, oh, wow, this is that. I can't remember what it's called, but it was one was a Japanese horror theme. And it's based on comics and stuff. And I was, okay. Then one was Berserk, which is a manga comic, which never knew about. When I researched it, I'm like, wow, I like this. So it opened my eyes to things. That's it. And that's what made it interesting because in a sad way to say, it's homework, It made me work and look up things and go, hey, and it opened my horizons on new things that I didn't know about.
For sure. I think I have the same thing. I definitely learn stuff about it. My problem to me is it's the daily grind of it. To me, it's almost which I understand there's sort of a bit of nobody's really strict about that. I think to do all of them is sort of not required and in most cases, so I think there isn't really the grind of it, but there is a bit of social pressure for me of the idea of if you do one, they're going to be like, are you going to do tomorrow's too? And it's I don't know, maybe.
But you know what? The good part was with the Cartoonist Kayfabe one, I forced myself spend at least 30 minutes to an hour on a drawing, and instead of me sitting around watching TV or flipping through my phone on stupid YouTube things or websites or something, I sat down and just set that time set. You know what? I'm going to draw, and it worked. And I did a drawing every day.
Yeah. although I feel for people who like draw for a living, and then the idea of like, it's like sometimes, oh, I've just been drawing for 8 hours straight. And it's like you kind of look at a prompt and you're like, oh, God, I've been
That's
drawing all
it.
day already.
Yes.
So, I mean, although, I'm somebody that draws, I generally draw every day for several hours a day, or do animation for several hours a day for the stuff that I do. And I write too. But, like, so so sometimes I'm definitely burnt out for it. But sometimes I like the sort of, I do often do drawings just for the sake of like warming up, or I also do it to sort of test an idea out. So I do like a lot of like they're your sketchbook stuff that you're using to sort of create your whether it's your comic book or your animation stuff that you're working on, and you
But
often
see,
tend
these,
to sort of practice something.
but the thing with these prompts is a lot of the prompts that are listed there are nothing to do with what I draw usually, or so it gets you thinking away from your standard mindset. So let's say you are drawing all day, and they tell you to do Japanese horror. You're like,
Yeah.
wow, I want to try this now. So
Maybe.
it's away from your daily routine. I'm hoping
Yeah, it
so.
definitely inspires ideas. Yeah, definitely inspires ideas. So, but like I say, I tend to. It depends on how busy I am at the time and what I'm doing. So if I'm working on like a big animated project, again, the last thing I want to do is extra drawing, except sometimes to warm up. But I totally get that. It's like if you want to like a break from the style or whatever you're doing, then it can be like seriously rewarding. I'll be honest though, to some degree, Tic Toc Tom the comic book for me is like my drawing prompt to some degree. Like, I think you can look back at my Tic Toc Tom stuff and be like, none of these look like they were drawn by the same person. And I almost use your comic book to some degree. And I also do sub-stories in Blue Orchid in completely different styles than the original. But I sort of use Tic Toc Tom and the sub-side of Blue Orchid to be like, if I want to go in a different direction, like that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And I think Tic Toc Tom, to some degree, again, does this, because you often have themes, like the gorilla theme and everything like that, where you're sort of challenging the artist to be like, okay, your drawing prompt is not one drawing. Your drawing prompt is a 10-page story.
That's it. Yeah, and make it challenging.
Yeah. So I think that you almost create an annual, like a full year long drawing prompt
Drawing
system in Tic Toc Tom.
project.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
Well, do you want to talk about the Tic Toc Tober idea? So basically, what we're doing is we came up with our own list of what was it? We asked how many? 6, 7 different people got ideas, and combined a list of prompts to draw.
Yep. I think I've got the list in front of me. I think the first, I mean, we might as well go through them because I think particularly some of them. First one, Tic Toc Tom. So I got a question for you. Do you think people will be drawing, do you think that's Tic Toc Tom the comic or Tic Toc Tom the character that you're looking for?
It doesn't matter. That's your interpretation. Okay. Because that brings up another question in one of the other lists. I was thinking about it and going, okay, how would you draw this now? And one of the drawings I was looking at, one of the prompts that was listed there, I was like, okay, I'm going to draw this version because everyone else is expecting this. So, It gets you thinking.
Almost rebellious to some degree. Like,
That's
I would almost like wonder, now I'm thinking like, if I do a Tic Toc Tom one, maybe I won't draw Tom, Tic Toc Tom the character. Maybe I won't draw anything from your comic book, but I'll be like a clock, with Thomas Jefferson's face on it. Could be Tic Toc Tom.
Well, I was joking because, not to give it away, but give it away. One of the things on the list is mullets. And I was, Tom and I were joking, going, do all of us draw fish?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly the example.
That's it, yeah. Because, you know what, everyone's making a long-haired redneck with a mullet,
Yep. And you can draw a mullet with a mullet.
Yeah, that's it.
So we'll go to number 2, which is Alpha Flight characters.
Yes.
So that's pretty self-explanatory. But on the other hand, if you could get really creative, you might be able to find a way to twist that one a little too.
Well, that was my contribution to the list because I was looking at something and I was looking at I can't remember what I was looking at, and I came across one of the Alpha Flight characters, and I was thinking, hey, why not? You hardly see Alpha Flight characters on drawings and stuff like that. And also, we're Canadians, so we need our Canadian representation here.
Exactly. And if anybody from Marvel is watching this, I think it's about time that Alpha Flight got a movie.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
If you can make Guardians of the Galaxy successful, and if you've ever read the original Guardians, kind of sucked as a comic book. You can make, because Alpha Flight actually had some great storylines. You can make Alpha Flight an amazing movie.
And you could have Wolverine appearance because he's Canadian also.
Exactly.
There
and
you go.
The second level Wolverine Puck.
Yes, that's it.
So the next one down the list is mullets. Which,
Yes.
I'm guessing I know exactly who submitted mullets.
Yes. and
So
and
watch a
credit
past
goes to,
episode of this.
yes, credit goes to Derek Barton.
Yeah, exactly. So, and by all means, I think I'm going to encourage people not to go too crazy with this and draw Molitor, because it's a cool character, and I think I would love to see interpretations of Molitor. So even though the official list says mullets, I'm saying anybody out there listening, just draw Molitor, because it's a cool character.
Yes.
And I think Derek would get a kick out of it, and we want to make Derek happy because he did a great interview for us. So, by all means. So next one is Frankenstein. So I'm thinking I'm going to draw something from a Mel Brooks movie in that one.
Oh, that's yeah. Oh, that would be.
I've been
perfect.
on a bit of a Mel Brooks movie kick lately, and so Young Frankenstein is on the top of my brain.
I actually on my TV box. There's a documentary on Gene Wilder, and
That's what got me hooked.
top. Did you watch that?
I did watch it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, because when he talks about approaching Mel Brooks about the dance sequence, and Mel Brooks
Yeah.
is so against it, and I was like,
Yep.
wow, and it worked.
That was like one of the best. If you said describe Young Frankenstein, like do a scene, that would be the first one that would come to mind.
That's it. Yes. And way Gene Wilder explained it, it was just perfect. Like he and Mel Brooks was it only an argument they ever got into?
Yep, was about that dance sequence. So
Yeah.
for sure. So next one after that, number 5 is Unicorn.
That's my recommendation because I came across a drawing my daughter did of a unicorn, and I was thinking, so when do we draw unicorns?
Fair enough. Although I must admit, you're creating a bit of a challenge there, because drawing a 4-legged creature well, very difficult.
Yes.
So it'll be challenging. So next we'll go with Popeye.
That I came across.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, because you know what? I was thinking of characters, what we could draw and stuff, and I was looking at came across a posting about the inspiration for Popeye. It was some sailor in the U.S. and stuff like that, or some guy who hung around in a bar.
I've seen photos of that guy.
Yeah, so I was thinking, hey, Popeye would be good to draw, and your style would fit Popeye. My style, I don't. It's like when we had that challenge a while back years ago. A bunch of us did Gru the Wanderer drawing. Sergio Aragona's amazing artist. I don't, trying to draw Gru is hard, and I'm thinking same thing with Popeye. It's gonna be a challenge to draw.
Yeah. The next one we'll look at is Zero Gravity, which I love the idea because it's like an abstract thought as opposed to like.
I think that was your That was your recommendation.
That's totally possible. I don't actually remember what I put in, but I figured I love the idea of abstract ideas, because for me one of the biggest challenges is sometimes drawing, like in comic books, because when you're storytelling, you have to explain a concept, not necessarily a character or something like that. And I think I was inspired vaguely off of Derek posted a thing once about a gun appearing in Izzy's hand. Like, how do you make that gun look like it's appearing in Izzy's hand?
Oh, that's it. Yes.
And so it's like an abstract concept. It's like if you're not drawing a gun, which is a thing. You're not drawing Izzy's hand, which is a thing. How do you draw the idea of something appearing? And so I think that was sort of in the back of my mind. And I thought, well, I'm not just going to do that, but maybe like, how do you describe zero gravity? Like, how do you make something that's
going to be
floating?
a challenging one. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So, and what else have we got on there? We have got 50s sci-fi. That's another sort of surreal,
That could be anything.
It's a concept.
Yes, that could be anything because depending on are you looking at movies, or are you looking at comics, pulp magazines, it's open to anything.
And what are you going to draw in the 50s style? Like, do a picture of something modern today, but in the 50s style.
I just think of Bollywood art. That's when I think of 50s sci-fi. That's all I could think of.
So number 9, I'm going to let you say number 9 because I'll be honest, I feel like I always mispronounce this name when I say it.
I
out
do
loud.
same also. I'm thinking of John.
John,
Isn't it?
Okay.
Or
Is it Gian? Is it John? Is it who named him anyway?
Tom.
So you know what? We're gonna cut for a second here because we're gonna have Tom. I'm gonna ask Tom, or you're gonna ask Tom to say the name out loud and just say it into his phone once. So we'll cut for a second. This is how you say it.
I'm thinking the pronunciation would be like Giancarlo Esposito, the actor, as in Jean. So his name is P.I., Private Investigator Jean. Pigeon was the joke.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
So there we go. Because he invented this character, and I want him to say the name. But basically, he's a pigeon in the Tic Toc Tom stories. So if you don't know who he is, go to TicTocTom.com, download some stories, read it up.
He's not just a pigeon. He's a fedora-wearing, tie, shoes, smoking pigeon that's a private detective.
Exactly.
And
So you've got a bit of research to do, and we're giving you a bit of warning. Go do some research on that one.
And this is all from the mind of Tom Yo. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
lots of
go.
coffee drinking there, and he came up with it.
So absurd. So next, let's do the Kraken, which is to me that's a fun one. I love drawing like octopus sea creature things for some reason.
Same here. Yeah.
So after some more surreal ones and a pigeon wearing a fedora, it's nice to get something that I think people are going to sink their teeth into. So the next one on the list is Tarzan, which is I think it's a real study in anatomy, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I have memories of Sergio Aragones drawing Tarzan, and he even added anatomy to it. And I think it was a cover for something, or a Mad Magazine drawing, or a pinup, or something like that. But it's worth checking out because it's a guy that normally has anatomy. I mean, he actually does have good anatomy in a lot of his stuff, but it's always kind of wonky. And I think every artist that draws Tarzan has to put anatomy into it. Like it's a big thing, right?
Yes.
So
that's where you pull out your Byrne Hogarth books and look at that, and he drew Tarzan. So you know what?
Exactly.
Perfect reference material to look at.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. So after that, it's Pow, which I assume has something to do with Batman, like when I think of that, I think of the old Batman TV show.
I'm not sure who came up with that prompt. I just thought when I saw it, I'm like, you know what, that could be anything. So, but I didn't even think about that then, honestly.
Yeah. It's another one sort of like 50s sci-fi, which is sort of like this general, it puts your brain in a certain mood, but doesn't necessarily represent anything in particular.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. So after that is horror movie.
That could be anything.
Yeah, that's huge. So yeah, I mean, you could just do your Frankenstein one again too if you're busy that day.
Yeah. Or I'm thinking first thing that came to me is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, there's definitely that potential. Next is Dragon.
Dragon came across, I'm not sure who put that, but I remember Tom Yo and I used to sketch a lot of dragon drawings.
Okay.
And so, dragons are fun to draw. Like we said about krakens. Dragons and krakens are two things that are fun to draw.
Except when you get to the scales, then it's just slow and time consuming.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
So after that is Swamp Thing, which is, I think Derek just recently posted a video drawing Swamp Thing. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think he did.
I missed that one then.
Instagram, or
okay.
Maybe it was YouTube or something. Maybe it was on. I follow him on TikTok as well. So, but for me, Swamp Thing is definitely one of those characters that if I want to doodle a character, he's one of the ones I go to because you can make him look like almost hippie-like, or you can make him look like the most menacing thing in the world, and it works. You can go the entire gambit.
And what you just mentioned is perfect. Doodling. You could get all the foliage and, what do you call it? Leaves and all that stuff. And doesn't have to be perfect. Sketchier, the better.
Exactly. That's one of the things. You will not need a ruler for this prompt, I assure you.
That would be the challenge.
Yeah. Draw Swamp Thing with a ruler.
Ruler, yes.
That's awesome. The next one is Burn.
I think that was you who came up with that prompt, wasn't it?
Maybe. If I did, man, I don't know what headspace, what time of it, like 3 a.m. I know, Burn, and then I sent it to you, and I'm like, what was I thinking?
It was either you or Massimo. I'm not sure who.
Okay.
But it was just like, okay, you know what? My brain's blank right now, so
Yeah.
I don't even know what to
Freddy,
put into
you
that.
could go Freddy Krueger again,
Oh yeah.
so that would work. Or you could also think of Burn, like, burning somebody. Like I could draw a picture of you that looks all goofy and silly, and I could be burning Chetan.
The Burning Man thing.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah, for sure. So number 17 is Iggy from Tic Toc Tom. I mean, you got to put your own characters in there at some point, right?
Oh, that's it. That's it. It would be, and you know what? That's why I was just like, at least put 1 or 2 characters in there.
Oh, for
and
sure.
she's fun to draw.
Exactly. Someday we'll have to do an episode of this in the future where we talk about how you come up with characters. So,
Oh, perfect.
but that's she inspired that because she's been around forever. So, let's see. Next after that is Transformer. Now I'm guessing Derek did that one, judging by our video with him.
I'm not sure, but Derek is a huge Transformers fan. Yes.
I was a huge Transformers fan as a kid. I even have a few still now that I keep. I got rid of most of my collection just because moving and stuff like that, I couldn't keep up with lugging them around with me all the time. I actually gave them to a friend of mine who's a massive Transformers fan, and so it filled out his collection well. But Transformers for me, I've tried drawing Transformers, and I look at that and I think of it's like the opposite of Swamp Thing. It's like you need a ruler for every part of it.
Everything, yes.
Yeah.
And it would be fun to draw. That's what I'm thinking. Robots and stuff.
Yeah.
Which brings up our next list on a character on our next list is going to be interesting to draw. And we did a challenge years ago drawing him, and he's hard to draw.
Galactus. Yeah, the thing about
Yes.
Galactus, the challenge, and I've seen, we can look at some of the best artists in the world. Like, you can look at, like, Kirby to an extent, but you can also look at, like, Alex Ross and a lot of the best Marvel artists. One of the things they always have trouble doing with Galactus is making him look gigantic.
That's it, yes.
So, like, how do you make him, like, he's a devourer of planets. How do you make him look
Yeah.
like this giant monster that can eat a planet, but when he's also on the planet at the same time?
Yeah. He like I said, Paul, Tom, and we did a challenge of drawing him years ago, and it was hard.
It is.
It was challenging.
It's a tough one. It's a really, like that. I think, and again, I've seen more artists fail at it than succeed, I think. So,
Well, let's see what we come up with.
yeah. So the next is Yokai. This one I'm not familiar with.
Same here. This was recommended, I think, from Tom Yo. Japanese ghost, ghoul, supernatural being.
Fair enough.
That's gonna be some research, and again, like the Cartoonist Kayfabe one, I'll probably do research and go, wow, I now want to look into this more. Because even just the description sounds interesting.
I have an interesting story about Japanese hauntings, but it has nothing to do with comics, so I won't say it here. But maybe I'll tell you later, and maybe I'll just randomly post a video later, like a short one later on this channel. I'll tell the story, and it's a really cool story. But I'll tell you off camera, and maybe I'll record it for as a bonus.
Do it as an attachment to this. Do a bonus video after
Yeah,
this.
maybe I'll do a bonus video. It has nothing to do with comics, but it's an interesting story about Japanese ghosts.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
okay, cool. So next is Forbush Man. This is something I don't know.
You don't know who Forbushman
I
is?
don't think so.
He's the guy with the pot on his head, with the red red overalls and or whatever. What do you call pajama type of thing?
That was quite popular in the
And he wore
70s
a
and
cape.
80s, right?
That's it. Yes, 60s and 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's been. I'm more of an ambush bug man myself.
Oh, okay. This is going way back before all of that.
Yeah. Same sort of
Ambush bug would have been good.
Yeah, I mean, ambush bug. But same idea. I think Forbush Man, it's almost breaking the fourth wall a little bit in that character, too.
That's it. Yes.
So the next is Detective, Chimp, Tracy, Batman, Holmes. Just any kind of detective. I might have done this one.
Anything.
I don't remember if it was me or.
I'm not sure who came up with that one.
Yeah, but I like the idea that you can go. That's a good.
There's
any direction.
A lot of choices. And reason I put Chimp is, Detective Chimp from DC and who was it? Brian from Worlds Collide was posted a trade paperback of Detective Chimp stories. And I'm thinking, perfect. There's fans out there for it.
Obviously, yeah. So number 23 on the list is Jack from Tic Toc Tom.
Again, Tic Toc Tom characters in here, so Jack would be fun to draw. Just take a look at who Jack is and on our website.
And again, I really do think we have to do an upcoming episode about character creating. I mean, I haven't created nearly as many characters as you, or like as rich a universe as you have. I'm still with my latest book with Blue Orchid. I'm still at the beginning stages. I have 4 or 5 characters that are regular, but you have an army of them.
Yeah,
and
but
so
that
at some
took
point we're going to do it.
That took so many years to do. So slowly
Exactly
introducing more and more. So
yeah, I think we'll have to do a future episode just talking to you about character creation and
Yes.
stuff like that. So the next is board game, which again, that could have been me because I love board games, or it could have been someone else. I don't remember.
I think
But
it might have been
that's
you.
right up my alley.
So that's going to be.
I love board games.
Yeah, that's going to be for me. It's going to be challenging. How do I do this?
Yep. There's classic board games. There's new board games. There's hundreds of board games. So I think the options are quite high.
Yes.
I would love to see if somebody actually designs a board game, and just because it's Tic Toc Tom, if somebody goes through and designs a Tic Toc Tom board game, bonus points.
Go for it.
Yep. So number 25 is Dracula.
Dracula's always fun to draw. Vampires are always fun, especially Dracula.
Yep.
Now, which
sure.
which Dracula do you go with? I mean, do you go with, Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee, or even Leslie Nielsen one?
And even what was that? What was the first? Not the Bela Lugosi, but sort of how,
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. You could go even that direction too, and go a little bit more sort of monstrously and not quite so slick and cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could do.
Tom Cruise.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
So that's an option. There you go. So next is Star Trek.
That's open to it.
There's so much you could do there, but I'll be honest, Star Trek, I'm not, and the next, let's say the next one too, because Star Trek and Star Wars are the next two.
Yeah.
So you have well-rounded the geekness of this.
Yes.
Of this particular choice.
And plus for those two, I mean, there's so much you could do, so many different, and nothing against Star Trek, but especially Star Wars, there's so many oddball characters you could do.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like the people that will do well at Star Trek will also do well at Transformers.
I think so, yeah.
I think that's the same sort of wheelhouse as drawing is people that draw really good Star Trek stuff, draw really good Transformers stuff. So let's see. After that is what were you going to say?
No. Go for it. Next one.
I was going to say zombies.
Yeah. Who doesn't like
drawing? A lot of options there.
Who doesn't like drawing zombies?
I'll be honest. One of my go-tos is if I ever do a drawing and it starts off and it's really bad. So like if I'm drawing a picture of Superman and it's just my proportions are off and it's looking really wonky, I always just turn it into Zombie Superman. Or something
there you go. See, zombies are fun to draw.
They are. It's always like draw something and then draw it kind of intentionally bad and torn apart, and then make it all fleshy and gooey, and you've got a perfect zombie.
And the anatomy could be wonky; it still works.
Exactly, because you could always say the bones are broken.
Yeah,
or something like that.
It's a zombie. So, come on.
Exactly. Next, and I'm going to get this right, Mr. Mixelplick.
There you go. See? That was easy to pronounce. Now, can you say it backwards?
Oh, I'm Kitspizism.
Okay.
I have to watch. I remember in the. I actually watched the Supergirl, the CW Supergirl TV show, and Mixelplick was a sort of a regular character on that, and they would say his name all the time, or get him to say his name backwards all the time. So I could probably reference that if I had to.
I think I caught maybe a little bit of that. Okay.
Yeah,
But
I
he
actually
wasn't-
quite enjoyed
He wasn't. He wasn't. If I remember, he wasn't comic accurate, was he?
No, he didn't have like the stupid. He did once. There was like an alternate universe thing that happened, and so they had him dressed up in the stupid little outfit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there's definitely that show, and also the Flash show. They obviously modernized stuff, but they had so many nods every once in a while to like old school costumes and everything like that.
Oh, they did. They did.
Yeah. That was awesome.
But he'll be fun to
Mixelplick-
draw. He'll be fun to draw.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can definitely take him like to the absurdly like 70s look to like something just sort of more normal.
And to be honest, I don't
definitely
think
work.
that's one of the characters I don't think I ever even tried drawing or sketching.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think I have. So, interesting choice. Number 30 is King Arthur or any Camelot character. Now, my first go-to is going to be drawing a Monty Python from,
See, that opens up a lot of options on who, what, and where you get your reference from.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam with a couple of coconuts doing this. That's going to be my that would be my go-to right off the bat would be Monty Python. But definitely, it's sort of a nice round and it's just a nice genre. Like
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say you could even just draw a sword and it would be cool.
That would be an easy way out. Yes. But see, for you, I didn't even think of Monty Python. I was just thinking for you, I thought maybe it would be Merlin you would draw.
Yeah, that's true. I could go that direction.
See, I completely forgot about Monty Python. See, this is good.
Yep. So I feel like just before we get to the last one, anybody watching this gets an advantage because we're like sussing out this list and, giving you ideas to go for. So, take note. The final one we have is a witch.
It's the 31st, so I put that in there.
I didn't even think of that. That's brilliant. That's absolutely perfect. For Halloween, of course you would do a witch. Why wouldn't you?
Because I was thinking about going, last day, Halloween, so let's do something Halloween themed.
Yep. Unless you're doing Glenda the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz, then it's a nice thing.
Yes.
So.
Now here's the thing. I want to see you draw her. That would be fun.
Glenda the Good Witch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone's thinking,
Lots of bubbles.
Yeah, everyone's thinking, the green faced, long hat, black, But Glenda would be. That would be challenging.
I'm not gonna. And if Tomio listens to this, maybe I'm pushing him in the direction, and this isn't fair. But I bet somebody, and it's Tomio would be the first person to come to mind, is going to draw Lucy from Charlie Brown when she dresses up as a witch in the Great Pumpkin.
That would be Tom. Yes.
100%. Tom would do such a good job at that. It would be like perfect.
And I'm gonna sound old, but someone could do what's her name, Samantha, from Bewitched.
Bewitched. Yep. I did not. You're not that old because it's streaming everywhere.
Oh, is it?
And in the last 5 years, it's been in the last 5 years or so. I watched the entire Bewitched in order.
Unfortunately, it doesn't stream here, which is a lot of the older shows don't stream here anymore.
Tubi, I think Tubi, and it's free, and you can get it in Canada.
Tubi has I watched Tubi, a lot of good stuff on it.
I think Tubi has Bewitched, or did for a while.
You know what I watched yesterday? I mentioned Tubi. I was watching Johnny Carson on it.
Yeah. That is great. Johnny Carson is amazing drawing stuff, so you don't really have to pay attention. Like you can just listen to it.
That's a listen, and
while
that's
you're
it.
drawing.
Yeah, That's what I was doing.
Absolutely perfect.
But that's what I thought. You know what? It's
Yeah.
31st, and I was thinking of, thinking I need one more for a list, and I was thinking something Halloween theme, and I thought, you know what? Witches are fun to draw, like zombies. Witches are fun.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a good list. We'll put the list up on the screen here, but of course we're gonna have it on social media. Go to anything Tic Toc Tom social media or anything of Chetan's on social media. I'm sure the list will be all over there. Do you have a hashtag designed or anything that people can put on there? You want to put like at Tic Toc Tober or something like that?
Yeah, so hashtag would be Tic Toc Tober and Tic Toc Tom for this. And again, check my Instagram. The links will be in below. Check the Instagram posting, Facebook, and X postings, and all the information over there. The list will hopefully go up by next week. Well, it has to go up next week. So all I ask is everyone have fun and draw. That's the key part. Just have fun.